Awesome. Yay, we're on. Hey guys, 2 days in a row. Welcome to Tuesday training. Thanks for being on. Super excited to see you guys. I want to give you like a um, disclaimer first. The kids are out of school for the storms in Charleston, and I have like 100 kids upstairs and the dogs, and I'm working from home. So if anything crazy happens, like kids run past or like the light fixtures start to fall from the sky, you'll understand why. They said it was going to be like crazy storms in Charleston today. I'm in Charleston right now, and so far, I don't know, Kara, what you have downtown, but not really much here. It's crazy. So I don't know. We'll see if it happens or not. Okay. Thanks for hopping on. I am excited to share with you guys these questions. Oh, Columbia. Shannon said it's blowing pretty bad in Columbia. Yeah, hopefully you guys won't get it too bad there either. And then I know in this morning they said Kentucky has bad weather. Like, I don't know what's going on, if it's just all over the place or what, but excited to share with you guys some questions that really help me at the end of every year / beginning of the next year. I typically don't do these until the beginning of the following year because I kind of wind down. I feel like doing stuff in December is a wash. Like everybody's checked out. You're trying to do holiday stuff. It's just too much. So I always take January, the beginning of January, to do these. And I actually said 20 questions, but I realized it's actually 19. So for those of you that are like, wait a minute, she left one out. I didn't. John Maxwell only gives 9 instead of 10, and I forgot about that. So I'm going to share all of them with you and then a few extra things. But first, I'm going to start with Gary's questions. And I'm going to walk you through each of these and kind of explain a little bit about what they mean. If you have not done this, you might even just write them down as we go and like write down the first thing that pops into your head. At least write them down so you can spend time on them later. I spent a couple of hours doing these in John's when I was in Florida over the break, and it was really good. So if you want, the Jason Abrams explains Gary's 10 questions in really great detail on one of his recent podcast episodes of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent podcast. It's great. They've been interviewing some great people. However, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, it's episode 10. I put a little screenshot of it right here so you guys could see it, but he kind of goes over each of them in detail. But I want to walk you through these 10 first. And so the first one Gary always says to ask yourself is, who are you? And this can change as you grow in life, as you get older, as like your circumstances change, but like, who are you to the core? And we used to do a really great exercise, and actually somebody texted me, I don't know if Ethan is on, but Ethan Rapier texted me the other day and said, we're doing this exercise, will you respond back like some things that you think of when you think of me? And so when you think of who are you, like, who are you to your core, and who would the people around you say that you are? Like for me, I like am a person of faith first and foremost above anything else. And I hope that that's what other people see when they think of me, or those who know me, on a deeper level. And then you can kind of keep going from there, but like, who are you? And then number 2 is, what do you believe? And Gary says these are like fundamental beliefs that you might have just about life, about people. Like the first thing for me that popped into my head on this one was, I do believe in the law of reciprocity. And like Linda McKissick really has helped me with this over the last several years. But I believe that like when you do so much for other people, at some point they look up and say, gosh, like she's done this, and this for me. So if she asked me to do this, I'm going to say yes. Or if I'm thinking about her in this situation, I'm just going to do something for her. But that's just one example. So like, what do you believe? What are some fundamentals that you believe about life? Number 3, I believe like everyone should star this one because I think especially in the real estate industry, and some of you I know might be on that aren't, but like, what really motivates you? Actually, forget being in the real estate industry, like post-pandemic, I would be interested to see if you guys find it harder to be motivated than you did pre-pandemic. A lot of people that I talk to say yes on that. They find it harder to be motivated and to stay motivated. But what really motivates you? And a great question on this one too, just to kind of like go a little bit deeper, is people are either motivated by like the fear of something, or they're motivated towards the gain of something. And so something is pulling them and they're motivated on that. Or they're like, I'm motivated by a fear, which isn't really a bad thing. Like I'm probably more motivated by fear, only of like, I don't want to not have something, or I don't want to not be able to do something. And my mind, which I'm a very abundant minded person, so it's kind of weird that I think this way, but it motivates me to not have a loss. So I'm like, gonna kick it into gear, so you have either way, one's not right and one's not wrong. You just kind of have to know which one you are. And then what really motivates you? Is it freedom? Is it money? Is it because you have certain goals that you're sprinting towards? What is it that motivates you? Are you an achiever? Like yesterday I was on my coaching call with my coach and she said, what has you excited right now? And I said, I'm doing all these challenges. And I was kind of like a little bit nervous to do them. And now I'm like super just excited about them. And she said, well, I could have told you that was going to excite you. And I said, really, why? And she said, yeah, you're motivated by challenge. And she was like, if you aren't being challenged, then you're not motivated. And I'm like, well, that's true. Number 4, why do you work so hard? And this is one to just really think about, like, why do you really work so hard? Is it because you're running from something? Is it because you are, trying to ignore something? Is it because you're sprinting towards a goal or towards a freedom number? But why do you work so hard? For those of you that really do. And I think it's important for you to just journal a little bit about that. Number 5, I thought was interesting. When is enough enough? And this is, if you know Linda McKissick, this is her least favorite question on the planet. She hates when someone says to her, when is enough enough? She always used to tell the story that her sister Betty used to always say, Linda, when is enough enough? Like, when are you going to be satisfied? And when are you going to stop working so hard? And when are you going to be okay with like what you have? And she said that she always hated that question because she's an achiever and she just wanted to like keep achieving. And she said the first time that I made enough money to fly us all to Hawaii first class, and I sent my sister in first class, she stopped asking me when enough is enough. She said at that point, she was like, keep on working. Like, it's never enough. Just do whatever you want. So Linda's like, if I would have known it would have taken me flying her to Hawaii first class for her to stop asking me that question, I would have done it a long time ago. But really, you truly have to kind of think about, and that's not even like with money, but a lot of people have probably heard this, but most people don't change until the pain is so great that you've had enough, and then you're willing to make the change. So you might even think about it in other aspects, like not just work or money, but like I'm asking myself this year, like, okay, when is enough that I'm going to say, like, I don't stop saying I don't have enough hours in the day. Like, I need to get up at 5. I mean, if I don't have enough hours in the day, I've got to get up earlier. I've got to leverage more stuff. I've got to have less people have access to me so I can get more stuff done. Like, that was my big, like, when is enough? Because I've said that for 4 years in a row. Number 6, what do you need or want to be in control of? This one made me laugh because hopefully somebody other than me on the Zoom is a little bit of a control freak. I'm like, everything. But really at the end of the day, what do you need and or want to be in control of? Is it, you really need to get in control and be in control of your finances this year? I know a lot of people made less money last year than they did the year before or the year before that. And so being really in control of their finances is a big thing. But what are things when you think of like, okay, I really need or want to be in control of this? Another thing I think is huge for number 6 for most of us is our health. Like, if anything came out of the pandemic, we need to be in control of our health more than ever. Adam got me, I think I shared this with some of you, but like the total most non-sexy, fun Christmas gift ever. Ruth, yeah, I know you've been big on health the last year too. But he got me a year of unlimited anything at Better Life, our functional medicine doctor here. So like quarterly blood work, every test, like possibly known to man, every supplement, like anything, everything, but I'm not sick or anything. Like I want anybody to be like, oh my gosh, Dana sick. I'm not. I just want to be really in control of my health this year. And especially after last year, unfortunately, with the loss of my dad, and he was only 65, it really makes you think like, gosh, it's just, you need to be in control of your health. Number 7 on this one is another really good one. What do you fear or are you afraid of? And I made a note on this one, and this is what Gary says on this, because the things you are afraid of have a lot to do with the actions that you take. So what do you fear and or what are you afraid of? Because depending on what your answers are to that, it's going to affect the actions that you take in your life. And so you really should spend some time thinking about that. I just think, these are deep questions, really deep. Oh, Karen, that's great. Physical health is her big goal for 2024. Love it. You're not alone. A lot of people that I've talked to, that's their goal. I feel like Stephanie, you did a really good job of that last year in 2023. Yeah. So think about what you fear, what you are afraid of. A lot of people are afraid of the market right now, even though I tend to feel like we're going to have a great first half of the year. I think things may slow down second half of the year, but actually Stephanie, I bragged on you this morning because I know you and I were talking, and Stephanie's been in the business 20 years. I knew it was two or 3 years more than me. 20 years, and last year had her best year in real estate that she's ever had in 20 years. So congrats, Steph. And also, oh wow, losing 50 pounds by 50. If you can do it, if anybody can do it, you can do it. But I've been using Stephanie as an example because so many people I'm talking to are like, I had the worst year last year. I made so much less money. I'm so down, and everybody's down. And I'm like, well, I know people who had the best year that they had in there. Teresa Kinney is another one of those examples. I just saw she popped on. Teresa had a great year last year. I don't know if it was the best. I don't know if it was the best ever in your business, but it was a great year. And there are several people who had great years. But anyway, what are you fearing? What are you afraid of? Number 8 is, what regrets are you trying to avoid? Gary recommended everybody going back and rereading if you have not already read. But reread and or read for the first time the Regrets of the Dying. I can't remember, is it 10 or 5 or 3? I can't remember what the title is, but it's something, The Regrets of the Dying. If you just Google it, it'll pop up. But what regrets are you trying to avoid? The book, I usually have it right here, and I don't think I have it in my stack because I just took my picture. But Ben Hardy's Be Your Future Self Now book completely has set me up for 2024, totally changed just my thought process. If you haven't read that, it is a must read. It is absolutely one of the best. Oh, yay. Matt Browning is reading the Future Self book now. Awesome. You're going to love it. It is game changing. But he talks a lot about, you think about 10 years from now, or 3 years from now, 5 years from now, what do you really want to be doing? Who do you really want to be? What do you really want to have? And the reason why it says to do that is because it eliminates, Andrew, sorry, that's a big expensive item on your budget for January, but it won't be an expense. It will be an investment. That's how I look at books. Andrew said he just bought all the books on the list. But what regrets are you trying to avoid? If you can hit them 5 regrets. Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie put the link in the chat for the book. If you can future pace yourself, it really helps you to avoid the regrets. Oh, shoot. I forgot to change the numbers at the end. Oh my gosh, that's going to drive me nuts. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Well, number 8 should say number 9. How do you bring meaning to your life? And here's what Gary says on this one. Your work isn't why you are. It's how you make money, and what you do with your time and money is who you are. So just remember that your work is not who you are. It's just how you make money. And so what you do with your time and your money is who you are. So how do you truly bring meaning to your life? Because I was guilty of this for many years, but work was my meaning in life. And so I think you have to, because, I didn't have kids and I poured into work, but we have to know what it is that actually brings meaning to your life. And last year, my word of the year, we're going to talk about that, but my word of the year was assignment last year, because for so long people would talk about what's your purpose in life? What's your purpose in life? And John Maxwell says, if you're a person of faith, your purpose in life is to honor and glorify God. Your assignments are the things that you do in order to do that. And so last year I was like, you know what? That's my purpose. Why am I even asking what my purpose is? I just need to focus on the different assignments and how they can bring meaning to my life, no matter what I'm doing. And then the last one that should say number 10, that's actually the third, number 8, is who are you in the end? And this also, we're going to answer that. Stephanie read my future paced my mind. That's one of John's questions. You can go ahead and put it in here if you want. Yes, I am going to share my vision board, Patty, at the end. Y'all either know me too well or you're jumping ahead. We're going to talk about both of those things. So yes, but who are you in the end? And, there was recently of the loss of a amazing lady who's a top 100 agent inside of Keller Williams, Sarah Rocco. I think she was in her mid 30s. I don't even know how old she was. And just lived life to the fullest, was such an amazing person, mid 30s. Yeah. 3 kids. And she died, she unfortunately was in a horrific car accident, and she didn't make it just a couple weeks ago. And one of my friends and clients who I coach was really good friends with her, and it just hit so many people inside of our KW community. And so the purpose of me saying that is, hopefully we have lots and lots of years to live. However, you really don't truly know. So who are you in the end, and what do you really want to be known for, and who do you really want to be? So leave it to Gary to really get you thinking and ask deep questions. However, my challenge and hope for you is that you guys will just take, 30 minutes or an hour and just journal. And remember, I think it's Abraham Lincoln that said about the power of scribing. But if you have analysis paralysis and you overthink things, or you just can't get started, just start writing, because once you jot a couple things down, then more will actually start to flow. It kicks on some sort of something in your brain. I don't know what it is, but I would definitely encourage you to spend some time on these questions. Okay, next up. We're going to do John's 9. And I think these are a little easier questions sometimes for me to answer. Gary's are a little bit more deep. But John, before I start in this, John is really, really, really big and mentors anybody that's around him on the 2 key things. And every year, Linda and I say that we are going to get better and better and better at these. And oh my gosh, reflection on the preparation on the front end and reflection on the back end. And John says that those are the 2 things that make all successful people and all great leaders. You do a lot of preparation on the front end, you do whatever it is you're doing, and then you have a lot of reflection on the back end. Because if you don't prepare, then people can usually tell that. And if you don't reflect, you have no idea what to take away from whatever that experience was. So you don't know how to make it better, how to change it, how to do, whatever. So these questions are all John's reflection questions that he does at the end of the year. The first one is, what made me proud this year? And I love this question. I love that it's the first question. I love that, Ruth. What a great idea to do these with your partner or a friend or your spouse or a family member. I just think that's such a great idea. What made you proud this year? And I really want you guys to think about, and I would love if anybody's really brave and wants to type in the chat, what's the first thing that popped in your mind? What made you proud this year? Let's celebrate and share with each other. Would love to hear some, but think about the reason why this is number 1 is because we so often skip over and go so fast. Teresa, I knew you were going to say that. Teresa became a grandma for the first time this year. I love it. Who else? What made you guys proud this year? Don't be bashful or too humble. Oh, that's cool. Shannon said I didn't come anywhere close to hitting my goals, but her kiddos made her proud. That's so great. My screen just went away. Passed the exam. That's a huge one. Youngest graduated from college as an athlete in 4 years. So proud, Jill. That's so awesome. Emily started a nonprofit. Ooh, love that. That's great. Started my coaching ops company. Yep. Love it. Improved your health through functional medicine. Totally. Yep. Supplements, diets, and your business. Stephanie, you had such a great year last year, professionally and personally. So just want you guys to think about that. And the reason why I was saying is because we tend to skip over things so quickly that we really don't celebrate our successes enough. And sometimes we just move so fast. We're so quick onto the next thing that we don't celebrate successes. So think about the things that really actually made you proud this year. Number two, what did I learn this year? And the other thing I would say with this one is, and or who did you learn from? One thing I do also with this is I do an audit of like the people that I learned a lot from last year, or the events that I went to, or the trainings or the classes that I went to. And I say, okay, did I get a lot from that person or from them? Do I want to keep them on my list for next year? Or like, did I really not? And so I want to find somebody new next year. But what did you learn, and who did you learn from? That is a big one. Number three, who did I lead this year? And just remember, everybody is a leader. So whether you're leading your team or your family or and yourself, we're all leading people. Sometimes when we don't even realize that we are. So it's a great exercise to make a list of the people, even if it's one or two, that you are leading and that you did lead, so that you can kind of see, because your leadership will continue to grow as you grow. Number four, what held me back this year? And this is I guess, kind of still a deeper one. But if you didn't hit your goals, or maybe you just felt like you didn't accomplish what you wanted to accomplish last year, what held you back from doing that last year? And what would need to change for next year? A lot of these, like, I'm just trying to think back through some of my answers on these too. I had a really just weird year last year. I mean, I lost, obviously, my dad. It was the first person that's really close to me that's ever passed away. It's the most horrific thing I've ever gone through ever in my whole entire life. So the last half of my year was just shot. I mean, I literally, when I look back, I can like almost laugh at it now. I feel like I was like just going through the motions. Like, I almost don't even remember most of the last half of last year, like just completely going through the motions. And so it was weird, because I'm normally like, let me check off all my goals and do this and do that and see. And it was just a completely different Dana that I've ever experienced. So getting, not that I guess you're never like normal, but getting back to, some sort of a realm of the normal me was exciting for me for the beginning of this year. However, it was weird, because I really did talk through with my coach. I'm like, I feel like I just sucked the last half of last year. And she's like, well, you didn't. And here's the reasons why. But it's weird when you kind of go through that stuff. So yes. And Karen, I love, actually, it's funny that you say that, and your main goal is just to survive. And totally, Stephanie, yes, because when I answered what made me proud this year and what did I learn, it was like that I was more mentally strong than what I thought that I was. And I was just proud that, honestly, I like kept myself halfway together, or got it, somewhat stayed together, and kind of tried to do the best that I could do. But it's crazy. And when you answer these, like every year things change. So number five, this is a biggie for a lot of people in our industry. And I think I have friends who are nurses who are just like miserable in their jobs and so many things, but do you still love what you do? And this could be in multiple areas, like not just with your job. It could be, with your social life or with your health, whatever the category is, whatever pops into your mind. But do you still love what you do? And I think if the answer is yes, then we move on to question 6, which I'll go to. And if the answer is no, I think you really have to assess why, like what are the reasons. And the thing with this too, yesterday, for those of you that were on with Linda and Tony, Linda McKissick and Tony DeCello, and if you weren't on with that, I was highly suggest watching the recording. I thought it was so good. Didn't you guys think they just did, like, I just thought they did the best job. But one of the questions that I asked them, because I hear this all the time, there's so much power. The power is in consistency, not in intensity. And a lot of times people, Andrew, I'm so glad you liked it. A lot of times we think that we don't love something anymore and we quit too early. And a lot of people, you may have heard this, but sometimes, I've said this before on trainings, you never know whether you're on the 50-yard line or the 5-yard line. And so it's hard to know, like, gosh, do I still love this? Should I keep going? Should I not keep going? And so you really have to ask. But I asked Linda and Tony, like, Linda's been in the business. Oh, what'd she say? I can't remember how many years. Tony was 49. Linda was a lot of years, like 40 something. And I asked them, like, what kind of kept you in it? Like, how was how did you stay so consistent and do it for so long? And a lot of their answers, actually, I have a lot of them right here. But they said, focus on the things that give them energy a lot, which that was a huge part. Being a servant to others keeps them going. Like, the more that you're serving other people, the more that you're continuing to keep going. Gosh, my notes are kind of a mess on here, but if anybody can think of anything else, but a lot of it was just like the energy part and focusing on what gives you energy, because you might not love all aspects of what you're doing. It might just be some of those things. Like, my coach has me doing this crazy exercise last week and this week where I'm paying attention, and throughout the day, I'm writing down the things that I'm doing that make me excited. And that when I'm not excited, what are those things? Because the question that she asked me, this is me being a lot of you I lead personally, so this is me being very transparent with you, but she asked me at the beginning of the year, was such a great question. She said, what do you need to do to be a better leader in 2024? And I said, I need to get excited again. And obviously, because of last year, like, I just wasn't excited for anything at the end of the year. I don't know if it was, I don't know. But so then she said, okay, I need you to do the exercise of go through the next 2 weeks and write down the things that make you excited, or that you feel excited when you're doing them. And then write down the things that you aren't excited when you're doing, because we're going to find a way to leverage those things, or to look at them a different way, or whatever. And some of you, that might be a great exercise for you to do too. And some of you may absolutely love what you're doing right now, and that is awesome. But this is a great question because we have ebbs and flows. And so sometimes you will, and sometimes you won't. And then if you did answer yes, a question in the chat of how do we watch the recording from yesterday? They're all on the YouTube. And Abby, if you could post the YouTube link, that would be awesome. And it does take us usually about 48 to 72 hours to upload. So if it's not on there, it will be by tomorrow. Just give us a day, but they'll all be on there. Number 6, am I willing to pay the price again this year? And again, this is a big one for our industry, just with things are shifting right now. And I think that's a pretty black and white question. Like, it's pretty straightforward one way. Am I willing to pay the price? Because there's a price for everything that we do. Remember, you're always going to sacrifice something. Gary just says, choose what you want to sacrifice. Number 7, what's the most important thing right now? And I put on here your main focus of the year. And as Ben Hardy would say, Matt, you're going to read this in the book, in your future self book, it's you kind of pick your top 3 priorities. So John would say, what's the most important thing right now? What does your main focus need to be for this year? And a lot of that for me ties into number 9, which is your word of the year. And so it's what's the most important thing right now. And for me, and I'll go ahead and share you guys, my word of the year is results this year. And in the past, it's been a lot more kind of personal words. And this year it's results, because when I'm not seeing results, I am not excited or as like fun to be around. And so, and that's not just in business. That's like if I'm not seeing results with my health, or with my finances, or with the business goals, that whatever it is, like, I'm excited because I'm a results driven person. And so this year I just have a lot of things that I'm ready to see results in. I've worked hard on them. I've been working on it. Like, it's time for the results. And so for me right now, the most important thing is results, and being able to obviously be a servant and help other people to get those results, because you get your results when you help enough people get their results and what they want. And then number 8 ties into that. What do I need to change? And this is habits based, but know that it also could be people based. And a lot of leaders that I talk to, and a lot of people this year, they're changing who they are around. That's something that they need to change. They need to be around a different group of people. And I'm not saying like ditch all your friends and all your or whatever, but just being aware of that, making sure that you're getting in different rooms and you're around people that inspire you and, you want to learn from. And I think I'm huge on, like, I don't take advice from or criticism from somebody that I don't want to be like. And so I want to get in rooms of people that I want to be like them, so that, I can pick up their habits and see the things that they're doing. And then number 9 is what's your word of the year. So this is the part. We'll go back to Stephanie. If you have your word of the year, I would love for you guys to type it in the chat. And if you don't, definitely think of what yours would be and or coming up. But I just want to go through these. Relationships obviously is such a good one, Stacy. I love that. Synergy, great. Determination, love it. Consistency. Teresa, that's a great word for you. Great word. And because I feel like you are consistent, but that's a great one. She's like, no, don't call on me. Awaken, love it. Progress, growth. Katie, mine and yours are similar. Transformation, intentional. Me, Holly, that's good. Love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so good. Focus, mindset, reflection. Love it. Love it. Accountability, consistent, a couple of consistents. So good. So good. So good. So good. Okay. Did everybody get those 9? I'll go back to the first one. Anybody miss any? You guys got them all? So one thing I would love for you to also think about is your vision board. And I understand mine looks overwhelming. I have OCD, like all the things. I know all the things that you're probably thinking. However, it is not for comparison. Like my brother did one for the first time this year, and he has like maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 things on his. And he was like, this is the first time, and I don't want to set myself up for failure. So his is like very simple, and it looks so good. Like I was like, I love it. That's great. This is, like my 10th year doing one. So it just, mine keeps expanding. But the reason why I want to share is because I encourage you to have something, like some sort of visual. Oh, see, shoot, hold on. We'll go to the books next. Some sort of visual that makes you excited to hit your goals. And this is another transparent moment, because a lot of you, I'm like, do your 411s. This year, Terry, my coach, said to me, let's not worry about your 411. Let's go off your vision board. And she was like, I feel like that drives you so much. And so between looking at this and doing my daily dashboard, which Teresa already added one to the cart for you. But between my daily dashboard tool that I'm using and my vision board, that's what I'm having my coaching conversations with my coach this year on. And not that I'm not doing my 411, but I'm not going to be as strict to it, because I'm a more visual person, and these are the things that are important to me this year. And so I want to make sure that we do that. So have you mapped out something visually that you can have? I like have mine on my phone background, on my desktop background. I printed one out and put it in my dashboard. I have one like in my Bible, so I can do it in my morning time. Oops, I keep clicking that. Sorry, guys. But something visual for these that you can have. And I have like a little $9 template. If anybody wants it and you know how to use Canva, you can whip it up and make it. It's super easy. You can probably make your own. By Frankie, it's hard to see. It says 16 years and healthy, because he's going to be 16 in July. I know, a biggie. Can you believe it? I can't believe he hasn't barked while we haven't been on here, because this house is a wreck today. The dashboard, Patty, okay, hold on. I'll find that and I'll link it. I'll put that in the chat. It's by a company called Inkvolt. This is the first time that I've used it. I started using one in November last year, and I really, really like it. It's one, oh shoot, you guys aren't gonna be able to see that. It's one page. Hold on one second. Let me unblur my, oh wait, nope, that didn't work. How do you change? Hold on, sorry. Hold on. Let me just, none. There we go. Okay. You probably might not be able to see this, but it's one page, and it has your week at the top, but then it has your, like, you can put your different businesses or roles in each one. Well, a blank one is probably not good, but so I have like each one, and then at the bottom it has a daily tracker. So like right now I'm tracking walking every day 30 minutes. I'm doing a 21-day challenge. I'm taking supplements every day. I'm doing my Bible app every day. I'm having no sugar. Pray for me for the month of January. And like all these things are everywhere, and I'm just like, but I love this daily tracker. It's by, let's see, what did Abby put in there? Okay, there's the still in review. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Yes, I'll find that for you guys and we'll either send it. And then lastly, I know some of you probably have seen this, but if you haven't seen, I shared this, I'm going to be emailing this out as well. But I read a lot of books and I get asked a lot what's a book I should read, what are the books I should read this year. So every year I pick my 10 favorite ones. And these are the 10 for this year. You're going to see Ben Hardy in there 2 times because I loved Be Your Future Self Now, like I talked about, and then 10x is easier than 2x. Teresa and I have been back on a building a story brain kick with Donald Miller. That's such a great one. 2 weeks notice. I don't want any of y'all to quit your jobs in 2 weeks, and I didn't quit mine in 2 weeks after I read that book. But it is a great book, especially if you're looking to grow like your online presence, social media, anything kind of like that. Diana's book, Diana Kokoska wrote a new book this year, Becoming More. It's amazing. Trust, that was a life-changing book for me. Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. It was Adam's favorite book last year. It's so good. A lot of you know I got obsessed with Dr. Daniel Amen last year. So Change Your Brain Every Day is such a good one. I thought maybe Adam might get me that brain scan for Christmas, but I didn't get that. I might get that next year. And then the John Maxwell Leadership Bible also is a really great one too. There's tons of great lessons in there. Yes, Amy Porterfield has a great podcast. Thank you, Ruth. Yep. She's just awesome. She worked for Tony Robbins and then went out on her own, and she has like a 8-figure business at this point, maybe even, she has done very, very, very well for herself, but always happy to give you guys more book recommendations. But these would definitely be the 10. So wanted to share that. And then don't go really quickly. I'll look this up. Any thoughts and or takeaways from the questions today, or anybody want to type anything in the chat and or share? Where did it go? Here we go. Something that you need to work on. Are you guys excited to go back and answer these? Thoughts and or feedback while I'm giving you the link to the dashboard.
I'll just throw something out there.
Oh, thanks, Teresa. Yes.
Under question 8 with Maxwell, what do I need to change?
Yeah.
Something I'm working on is what I call the bookends, which is a morning routine and a night routine.
Love that.
And it's making a huge difference because I can do a morning routine, but the night routine, I'm always like, I'll do that in the morning. But what a game changer. Raising 4 kids, we used to always lay everything out the night before, but then when it's just you, you're like, oh no, I'll have time in the morning. I don't have time in the morning. So I just think that makes a huge difference. Plus, it sets your day. It sets your day in the morning with the intention, and then it's kind of like what you said at the very beginning, prep on the front end, reflect on the back end, because when you have a morning routine and an evening routine, that's kind of what you're doing.
What do you do in your evening routine? Oh yeah, Stephanie just said, would you mind sharing your routine? Like, can you share a couple of the things?
For evening routine, well, definitely I lay my clothes out for the next day. I work out every morning, so I set that out. I have my lunch ready. I'm doing a Bible in the Year thing, so I make sure I have time for that. I'm trying to contact agents in our office to sign up for Bold, so I literally put who I'm calling that day in my calendar.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot of, the prep work takes a long time.
It does.
Yeah. It helps. And then of course I reflect because I don't have my journal with me. It's at home, but I try to journal a few minutes in the morning and then longer in the evening.
I was just getting ready to say, don't you journal? Because I remember you saying that. Yeah. And you know what's great about the reflection before bed also, I guess it's preparation for the next day. It's kind of both, right? I guess. And yeah, because you're preparing for the next day and you're reflecting on the current day. But I think one of the things that's actually great about that your coach Roach would tell you is you probably sleep a lot better because everything, you're getting the stuff off of your mind before you go to bed, which is a huge game changer.
It is. And I have instigated the no phone. I got a Hatch alarm clock.
Oh, yes.
Katie Good, I need a little tutorial, but I don't have my phone in my bedroom anymore.
Yeah, love that.
Big change. So
that's what Adam doesn't. I do have mine, but I mean, I don't look at it, but I do have it. Because I sleep with this app that does noise and stuff, but Adam doesn't have his in the room. He is crazy about. Abby said, what would we do without Katie Good? Great question. Teresa, what time do you get up? I think I know the answer to this, but Stephanie's asking.
4:45.
That's what I thought. Yep. So then what time do you go to sleep?
By 9:30. I go upstairs at 8:30. I'd start my night routine at 7:30, upstairs 8:30, 9 o'clock, read for a little bit, and lights out at 9:30.
Yeah. Yep. So good. Steph, you can do it. Come on. Patty said, wow.
Like my ideal time to get up is 7:30.
Woo, girl. Stephanie's right there with you.
And I'm sick right now, so it's really 7:30. But yeah, I just that 4:45 people, I love y'all, but
It's not me. My goal for this year is 5:45.
I don't get anything done at night though. Like I know you guys who sleep in, you get more done in the evening than I do. So
Yeah.
it's just wherever you're more productive.
You guys, I was the person that would stay up until like 1 and work and then sleep until like, probably 7:30, something like that. Until Adam, because Adam is like up with the chick. He's like on Teresa time. And so he's like, he goes to bed way early. Andrew said, I can't be participating in the world before 7 a.m. Actually, that's a good point though, because it is nice to get stuff done like this for 21 days right now. I'm actually going to church at 7 a.m. So I'm up at 5:45 and getting ready and kind of doing my thing. And then it's been nice because I'm not like doing the rest of the world. Andrew, I love it. I did put in the chat, you guys might have to scroll. Abby said no one wants to see her talk. Abby, that's probably more like 8 instead of 7. I don't know. Maybe not. 9. Yes. Okay. Now we're being a little more realistic. If you scroll up a little bit, I did put the link to the dashboard. I think it's like $30. I can't remember. But it is a great tool. So if you're looking for something and you're I'm a paper person, I have paper everywhere. I still do my month at a glance calendars. I'm like, have my whole year planned on these pieces of paper that I'm psycho about. But this week week thing is really great too. So, hope that you guys got some value out of this today. Please go back and work on some of the questions if you haven't already. I'm going to I thought of more things today as I was reading them to you guys. So I need to go back and add some to mine too. Patty, do you still laminate everything? Yes, I have a laminating machine in my closet. I'm such a psycho, but yes, if it's important, I'm laminating it or else it gets crumpled like this piece of paper from yesterday that was really important. And now it has like spaghetti on it from last night. It's crumpled. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your week. Love seeing you guys. Let me know if you need anything. Thanks for being on. See ya. Bye.